to discuss about 5 questions regarding the pharmaceutics subject. The first question is, dissolution rate is governed by option A, Noyes-Whitney equation, option B, Stokes law equation, option C, Clark's cell, and option D, partition coefficient. The answer is Noyes-Whitney equation. So, the equation means what? dC by dt is equal to K into Cs minus Cb. It means the dissolution rate of a drug depends on the concentration gradient, or we can say that the dissolution rate of a drug is mainly depending on the concentration difference in the stagnant layer and bulk solution. So, the dissolution rate is governed by the equation Noyes-Whitney equation. Then the second option is Stokes law. The Stokes law mainly related to the sedimentation rate of drug. Okay, the particle size can be determined by assessing sedimentation rate. The Stokes law equation is V is equal to D square into ρ1 minus ρ0 into G divided by 18 eta. Then the next option is Clark's cell. Okay, Clark's cell is a voltaic cell that is used as a standard of electromotive force and in which zinc amalgam and mercury is used as the electrodes and zinc sulfate is used as the electrolyte solution. Then the fourth option is partition coefficient. The partition coefficient is related to the lipophilicity of the drug. Okay, that means it's a ratio between unionized drug distributed between organic and aqueous layer at an equilibrium condition. Okay, that means it's a ratio of unionized drug distributed between organic and aqueous layer at equilibrium condition. As the partition coefficient value increases, the solubility or the lipophilicity of the drug also increases. Then the second question is, a removal of water by means of sublimation is also known as option A, freeze drying, option B, pan drying, option C, evaporation, and option D, solubilization. The removal of water by means of sublimation is known as, the answer is freeze drying. Okay, freeze drying is otherwise known as lyophilization. Okay, lyophilization in which the product is completely frozen initially, then which is placed under a high vacuum condition. The temperature and the pressure is below the triple point, and then the drug is heated or the drug heat energy is applied and which cause the ice to sublime. Okay, sublimation means what? Sublimation means the conversion of a solid state to gaseous state without involved in this liquid state. Okay, so the removal of water by means of sublimation is known as freeze drying. Then the second option is pan drying. Pan drying means it's also a drying process mainly used for the drying of slurry, solutions, damp crystalline powders or filter cakes. Okay, mainly used in the drying of slurry and solution. Then the third option is evaporation. Evaporation means what? Vaporization from surface of liquid. Means a removal of a liquid from the solution by boiling the liquid in a suitable vessel and which withdraw vapors and leaving a concentrate liquid residue. And the heat supplied is called latent heat of vaporization. So the vaporization means removal of liquid by boiling or removal of liquid from a solution by boiling. Okay. The fourth option is solubilization. Solubilization means Preparation of a thermodynamically stable isotropic solution of a substance, normally that is of insoluble or slightly soluble in water by adding surfactants. So, solubilization means preparation of a thermodynamically stable isotropic solution of a substance which are mainly insoluble or slightly soluble nature in water by adding surfactant. Then coming to the third question, if substance can exist in more than one type of crystal structure is known as option A polymorphism, option B efflorescence, option C excitation and option D deliquescence. Okay. The substance can exist in more than one type of crystal structure is known as, the answer is polymorphism. Then coming to option B, that is efflorescence, it means loss of water of crystallization from a hydrated or solvated salt to atmosphere on exposure to air. So it means loss of water of crystallization from a hydrated salt. The example is gypsum. Then coming to the third option, that is excitation, that means process of being drying up or a removal of water of crystallization from a substance and the product is get dried up. So excitation means the process of being dried up. Then the fourth option is deliquescence. Deliquescence means absorption of moisture from atmosphere until they dissolve in absorbed water to form a solution. So it means absorption of moisture from the atmosphere until they dissolve to form a solution. The example for deliquescent substance include sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, etc. Then the fourth question, purification of colloids is done by option A dialysis, option B electrodialysis, option C ultrafiltration and option D is all of the above. So the purification of colloids can be done by, the answer is all of the above, that is by dialysis, electrodialysis and ultrafiltration. Dialysis means what? It means the components. Okay, the components, the colloidal substances are separated by passing the colloidal solution through a cellophane membrane. So here we are taking the colloidal solution in a cellophane membrane containing bag and then allow only the particles of small size other than this colloidal particles, the electrolytes or the other components will move across the cellophane membrane and that will reach the outside of the membrane. So that means dialysis. And electrodialysis means we are enhancing the dialysis process or we are enhancing the speed of dialysis process by applying an electric potential. So only in both this dialysis and electrodialysis, the colloidal particle cannot pass across this cellophane membrane. Only the particles of small size, that is like the solute or other solutes or the electrolyte solution, pass across the membrane. Then the ultrafiltration means the passing across a semi-permeable membrane. The components are passed by means of a semi-permeable membrane. Only the colloidal particles cannot pass the semi-permeable membrane. Other solutes or other components are passed only across the membrane. So the purification of colloids is mainly done by the three processes, that is dialysis, electrodialysis and ultrafiltration. Then coming to the fifth question, aerosols are colloidal dispersion of option A liquid in gas, option B solid in gas, option C both and option D none. So aerosols are the colloidal dispersion of liquid in gas and solid in gas. By definition, aerosols are the suspension of small solid particles or droplets suspended in a gas or vapor. So that's all today's discussion. Thank you.